So this is it. This is all you need. You know, you have to have 2 bags. That's it. But it all matter. I mean, the only thing that matters is what you carry in these 2 bags. For example, let's start with the one that stays in the car. And in this camera bag, you pretty much have, you know, your typical 70-200. 2.8 lens. You have your video camera now with a wide angle adapter, because sometimes in gangbangs and so forth, you're so close to the celebrity that you need, you know, to be able to capture more, and so therefore you have to use a wider angle. And then you have your, you know, your standard 17-85. I mean 17-85, or in my case 17-55 2.8 lens. I like faster lenses because, you know, they're a little bit sharper and faster. And I'm able to adjust it exactly the way I want. You know, the pictures that sell in our industry are more the ones that, you know, that have the celebrity captured, and then you kind of get a hint of the celebrity, so you need to blow out the background in a sense. And so that's why you shoot with a faster lens. But nowadays, people really don't care about that. The photographers of today, they don't really care about that. They don't, you know, they don't even have a clue about that. And so they're shooting with slower lenses. You know, and they have actually, there's some guys that, you know, really don't have a clue on how the camera works, and they tape up the entire thing, and they just know they have to be 3 feet away from that person. It's pretty sad, but that's how they do it nowadays. I like to keep everything on manual control, and just adjust it myself as I see fit, depending on the lighting and so forth. And so this is what I use. I use 40D with 2.8 glass, 17-55, and this is what I call the short lens. I try not to use this lens as much as possible, because I work a little bit different than other people. I like to keep my distance from the celebrity, you know, get my exclusives, not give them a clue that I'm there, and so forth. And then you have obviously your flash, right? And then you have, for your protection, you have 2 types of pepper spray. You know, one the army one, and, you know, and then the little carry-on. Sometimes what you do is you hold this as you're also taking pictures. You know, this for nighttime photography, because literally you're carrying around like $10,000 worth of equipment, and there's a lot of drunk people. It's the super fan, you know, the people that come out of the clubs that don't understand the relationship that the photographer has with the celebrity, and those are the ones that, you know, you have to worry about. And so you have to carry your protection. I tend not to, I never use them, but I did cock it once. Of other lenses that I like, you know, fancied. This was my favorite lens for years and years and years, the 28-70. Unfortunately nowadays, because you're competing against all these people that really don't know how to use their cameras, and they're getting so close to the celebrity that you need a wider angle lens. But this was obviously, you know, the oldest lens that I have, that I've ever used. Initially I actually used to shoot with a 100-400. That was the only lens that I had. But as people started getting closer and closer, we had to, you know, upgrade our system. And so I shot with the 28-70. This was one of my favorite lenses, especially for, you know, the stuff that I used to do on the side, which is, you know, shooting flowers and so forth. I do carry battery packs. One of the power packs that I use is a Lumidyne for the flash. This one, I use it all the time because you need the speed in order to be able to capture, you know, all the images that you want, especially when you work at night, because you have it at a certain setting and you want it to power up your flash, cycle your flash as fast as possible, you know, to be able to capture, you know, the celebrity in the 2 seconds that you have, or 3 seconds, and so forth. Our type of photography is completely different than, I guess, conventional photography. I would consider ourselves, you know, photojournalists, but we're beyond photojournalists. We have even a more special, you know, photographic skill, which is basically we have to combine sports photography with photojournalism. And that's the difference, because we only have seconds to capture our material. photojournalists, sometimes they go to an event and the event has already happened and all they're doing is reporting on that event, and so pretty much that event is pretty much just there. For us, we're capturing the event as it's happening, and so for us, we have limited time to capture what we need to capture. And so it's a different type of speciality, and it requires a different type of skill. And so that's why sometimes I laugh at those people that have everything completely taped up, their settings and so forth, because you really know that, they don't know what they're doing. And then you have your second bag, which is basically the one that, does most of the damage. And this is the number one lens. This is the 120-300 2.8, and I use it with another 40D. I obviously set it on, I like to blow out the background, I like to be as discreet as possible, and so this is the lens that I use the most. Obviously you can see it all taped up for protection. Obviously it doesn't block the settings on my lens. It's just for protection in case I bump it against something and so forth. And you can see I bumped it a couple of times, but it's a rugged lens. It's meant to do work. What we do is when we carry our stuff, we never disclose our cameras, and so we always walk around with a bag. So if you see somebody like that looking like a student, you never know what they're carrying. They're carrying books or a camera, and that's how we look.